Greetings, mathematicians. Today we're going to show you how to solve quadratic equations. We're going to use graphing and more specifically the TI-84 to do that. So first off, we start off with a problem that looks like this. Well, the first thing that we want is standard form. So make sure to have standard form, and the way to do that is I'm going to move all this to the other side, and I'm going to do so by taking the inverse. So when I rewrite, I get 10x squared plus 3x minus 4 equals 0. And now here's a hypothetical. What we're going to do is pretend for a moment that this is actually y, and then we're going to graph this. So I'm going to enter this into my calculator. So go over to your calculator, and let's go into press your y equals button so we can start entering some things in. 10x squared plus 3x minus 4. Now notice I'm not saying equal to 0. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it like that. Then when you graph it, you get this. And the problem is that we need to have this region right here. The solution is we want to know what the values of x are when y equals 0. The values of x when y equals 0. So effectively what we're looking for is when y equals 0, what is x? And in fact, we're going to see that x is two separate things because generally we're going to cross the x-axis in two different places. So let's go back to our graph here, and this is what I want. I want to see where this is and where this is. Now, I can trace, if I trace, and then I can kind of scoot over a little bit and see what happens if I trace. But notice that I don't get exactly on the axis, so it doesn't work so well. So I'm going to use the button that is inside the calc here. So I'm going to press second, and above the trace is the calc. And notice what it says on number 2. I'm going to find the 0. Now, down here it says, go ahead and find what's the left bound, and then it's going to ask me for the right bound. So left of this point right here is going to be where I am, and right bound, I'm just going to go somewhere to the right of it, and then it asks me to make a guess, and it actually doesn't matter if I just hit enter again. I'll actually get it. Now notice where it says, oh, 0.5 is one of my solutions. So coming back here, my two solutions are going to be 0.5, so x is 0.5, and now let's go back and find the other one. So again, how do I do that? I'm going to press second calc, and then number 2 for the 0, and this time I'm going to go to the other x-intersect. So it says left bound, so I'm going to be above it right here, hit enter. Right bound, I'm going to go below it, and then my guess is just going to be right there. And notice what it gives me, negative 0.8. So coming back here, negative 0.8 is my other solution. Now how can we test it? How do we know we're right? Well, we can check the solution just by substituting the 1/2 into here and into there to do the test. So most of the work that you're doing is on the calculator, but you can do the check. So let's walk through the check and see what we get. Okay, so I'm going to bring down the 10, and this time though I'm going to say 1/2, or I could say 0.5 equals 4 minus 3 times 1/2. And we're just going to simplify that here. It's going to move some things around. Okay, so this here is 10 times 1/4, and this is going to be 4 minus 3/2. So this is 10 over 4, and this one here is going to give me 8/2 minus 3/2. So this here will give me right there 5 halves equals 5 halves. So we do see that this one works. And the same thing you're going to do when we plug in the negative 0.8 into those two places. And there we have it.